Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we are going to take a look at the Supreme Showdown Super Saiyan Gogeta event and how you can get your hands on a brand new sparkling purple Super Saiyan Gogeta. Now the Super Saiyan Gogeta is part of a new event that's dropped for the anniversary and he looks pretty solid. He is a really interesting unit. Obviously he's pretty strike orientated, which is quite cool. He gains card draw speed on strike attacks, reduces their overall cost, and just in general he is a strike based unit that could be pretty interesting to run on a fusion team, and we will maybe look at that when we can. But he does look really cool and really solid. He gives Fusion Warrior and event exclusive characters base strike during the battle, and eventually also gives to Saiyan characters as well, along with 15% base strike defense. So he's pretty nice. He gives a pretty sizable bonus as well, so he could be someone you can throw onto a fusion team to kind of spice things up a little bit. In terms of his unique abilities, he looks pretty solid. He doesn't have a cover change, which is probably the most common thing with Gogeta units, but beyond that he looks pretty solid. There's a new event, and that's what we'll be taking a look at, but the way to get his Z power is to battle the event, do all the stages, do all the stage challenges. There's a daily bonus battle that will unlock, and there are event missions. There will also be a full power battle in the future, because it says they're upcoming events, and we all know what that means. Along with Gogeta dropping from the event, we also have an equip for him as well, which is pretty powerful and strike orientated for fusion category units. So you'll find the new event under the recommended tab, and you can see here that it starts with one stage only. Obviously you will not have Gogeta. We are going to use a full event exclusive team to make sure that we unlock Gogeta, and then we're going to take everything from there. Now you do get medals from this event as well as you complete each stage. You can use them to trade in for probably the most usable being slot removers, but also you can use them to trade in for the souls, because that's obviously going to be able to help out as well. Now, of course, there are some challenges. These challenges remain pretty consistent throughout all the stages. The main focus will be battling with 2 or less characters, battling with Gogeta, and making sure that you do some kind of cover change, vanishing, and doing special moves and special skills, because that's essentially what all these challenges amount to. They're not too hard, so I'm not going to break them down per stage. We will just take a look at some of them near the end of the video, but they are very simple. Most of the times it will be just performing vanish attacks and also switches and cover changes, but the 2 main ones that are always consistent are using Gogeta and using obviously 2 or less characters. So make sure you can do that. I'm using a full event exclusive team, very similar to the one I used to take on the Rising Rush Vegeta event. I'm really not changing it at all until we get Gogeta. Basically, just finish this first stage to unlock the first 100 power for Gogeta, and then you can kind of begin the actual process. The fights overall are not too hard, if I can speak plainly. They're not, dramatically difficult or anything like that. They are a little bit challenging near the end, of course, but that does tend to always happen. But for the most part, you really shouldn't have that big an issue while taking on the stage, especially if you follow the strategy I'm about to show you in terms of bringing 2 purple units, the one being the Goku, the purple Goku, and the other being the purple Gogeta as well. So that's pretty much it in terms of overall strategy. Obviously this first fight is relatively challenging, especially if you're not going to use a purple unit. If you are looking for a good free-to-play purple unit, I do suggest going to the 6 Goku event and picking up the purple Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku from the Resurrection of F movie. He's very solid, and he is really decent. I do quite like him, and he'll do a lot of good damage here. He's a great replacement for the Goku that I will be using, and you're welcome to use that one. But as you can see, we now unlock Gogeta, and then we can start beginning the process of taking on this entire event. Now it's important to note that there are a couple of things you should do before you continue with the event. So first, of course, we want to train Gogeta. This is imperative. We want to get him to level 5000 as quickly as possible, so make sure that you train Gogeta. Next, you want to obviously soul boost him as well. Soul boosting Gogeta is relatively easy because he doesn't have any special souls. He only has normal souls. So you should be able to soul boost him relatively easily. These will also unlock a couple missions, and those missions we're going to take a look at now. So those missions are very straightforward. You can find them under the events tab. They will drop more Z power for Gogeta, and most of them are orientated around completing the stage missions, but also raising his friendship rank, as well as obtaining a set amount of medals. Now the medals I'll show you how to get near the end of the video once we've completed more of the challenges, but the friendship is relatively easy to raise up. You obviously want to go to the upgrade missions or the kind of recommended section. The Greatest Showdown has a lovely stage against Hercule where you'll raise your friendship, and the Let's Fight mission will also raise your friendship quite a bit. You need to get him to rank 5, so it is going to take you a couple days, but it's going to be well worth it. It does help you unlock a lot of Z power. So that's it. We're going to jump back in the future, obviously once we have done all of the challenges. So there you go, little jump in time. We've done all of the challenges. Really nice. There are 3 stages that you will unlock once you have completed all of the first 6 stages. You will unlock the daily bonus battle, that is this one, against Chi-Lai and Broly. Very straightforward. You shouldn't really have too hard a time with this stage, and you will be able to run that stage every day for a bit of Z power. The next one will be for 500 Z power. That features a couple challenges as well, mainly time based. This one we're going to be taking on now. And then there's also a second challenge stage. That challenge stage features the equipment, and that equipment is what you can use to really beef up your Gogeta. If I can make a suggestion, I would suggest finishing the equipment stage and then grabbing the equipment and then coming and taking on this stage. I feel like it's going to help you the most, and you're not going to have as many issues or as hard a time as you might if you don't grab the equipment. Obviously, if you are just struggling in general, remember you can still use a whole bunch of the other standard equipment to really beef up Gogeta. So if you do have any decent fusion equipment, you can place that on him. You are trying to prioritize strikes, so try and remember that when you are taking on the stage. It is very important. You can see here that Broly does put up a very big fight, and we get taken pretty low overall. It is somewhat challenging, so try and be prepared to maybe try more than once or twice. This was obviously our first attempt, but we did kind of graze it by the skin of our teeth, if we are entirely honest. I mean, let's take a look, and we can see pretty much that I got a bit lucky, basically. So if you are struggling, maybe just wait a couple days, get the bonus battle up so that you can get another star or 2. Maybe look at your equipment, try and see if there's some little fusion equipment that you can snag. That'll really help you out. It's important to really focus on strikes for Gogeta, so try and focus on that where you can. But yeah, for the most part, everything is pretty straightforward. You can see that obviously trying to make sure that I can get the knockout on Broly, and we get very lucky in that our vanishing gauge just manages to refresh, and we manage to take him out. But that will give you 500 Z power. It's a nice little buff right at the end. So yeah, you should have a really good time. It's not as hard as some of the previous events. If you are struggling, look at your equipment and you should be more than good to go. Also, fully event exclusive team as well. So if you're looking, rather change up to a fusion based team or something that's going to give Gogeta just a little bit more boost, I think, which will be a lot better overall. Like I say, then you can do the daily bonus battle, then you can do the other event stage, which will give you equipment. We skipped ahead just so that we can obviously finish all of that up, and it's all done. As you can see, the entire event is now done, and there are a couple missions that are still left that you will need to focus on, which I'll highlight. There were some challenges for the event stage. It was very straightforward, very similar to the rest of the challenges. As you can see, a lot of them requiring you to clear with 2 characters or less, clear with 1 Gogeta character, and most of them involving using 1 special skill, landing 1 special move. Nothing too crazy. You will probably naturally do it during the course of battle. So yeah, shouldn't really have too many issues. As you can see, we come to the mission section and we've unlocked quite a few. There are a couple here that you will need to focus on though if you are wanting to complete all of them. The main ones being the medals. So the medals you will have to actively try and get by running these stages. Luckily, it's not too bad. You get quite a few medals. It won't take you too long to get them. And then the other one being obviously the friendship. The friendship being the most difficult one that's going to take a couple days, unless you are rapidly farming the story or something, because getting friendship requires you to do the Let's Fight stages or the Hercule stage, which obviously I've already done for today with Gogeta, but you should also do as well. Then obviously the medals, the easiest way to get them is to just run the last stage, the second to last stage here, and just skip basically a whole bunch of stages. You don't need to skip too many, just skipping 10 gives you about 30. So maybe 100 energy and 100 skip tickets, and you should be pretty much done with that part of the missions as well. But yeah, that is pretty much it when it comes to the Gogeta event. I wish you guys good luck. The remaining 3000 power will come from the full power battle that will come out at a later stage. And yeah, but if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and bye.